Welcome back to the Crochet Crowd. So, my friends at yarnspirations.com. I'm your host, Mikey. Today we're going to do the ice cream scoop stitch. And this is a combination of 8 rows in order to make it happen. And it is a one-sided pattern, so this is what the back looks like. Somebody's going to say, why didn't you turn it over? Well, here I am now. And what I'm going to do is demonstrate this going step by step. You're going to notice that row number 2 is the right side of the work where all these nice things puff out, and I am using popcorn stitches. We're using extra chains and also extended double crochets today. We are going to be doing strategic placement in row number 2 every time you do number 2 in order to have your cone come on down. Let's begin right now. First of all, use any yarn that you wish, and the hook that complements the yarn, I am using Red Heart Super Saver and also a 5mm hook in order to demonstrate today. This combination is in sets of 3, so if you can just go 1, 2, 3, big enough, yes or no, and if not, keep on going. So 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3, and 1, 2, 3. So you can lay it against something, whether it's a bed or something for yourself. You just have to make sure the chain's long enough, and then you're going to continue. So let's begin to row number 1. Row number 1, you're going to go second chain from the hook, and you are going to get the back hump of the chain. If you wish to do the chain in the regular spot, please do so. And it's just 1 single crochet in each of the chain going all the way across. I'll meet you at the end of the row in a moment. Once you're at the end of the chain, just turn your work and let's begin row number 2. Row number 2 all the way to the whole end of the sequence is going to be a repeat. So row number 2, we're going to establish where the cone is going to rest. And so you're going to just chain up 1 and you'll single crochet the first one. And now you're going to single crochet the next one. And the cone is going to go into this one right here. So we're going to put a chain 1, and then we're going to skip that one and single crochet the next 2 in a row. That's going to be your sequence all the way across. So your cone is going to go into the next one. So chain 1, skip that one, and single crochet in the next 2. Please do this all the way across, and I'll meet you at the end of the row in just a moment. Eventually you'll get to the very end, so you're going to skip this one because I got my 2 in a row, and then chain 1, and then just single crochet the last 2 in a row. So the both sides should be balanced of having 2 single crochets in a row before an edge. You're going to turn your work, and we're going to begin row number 3. Row number 3, every time is just chain 1, and you are going to put in a single crochet in each of the stitches. Watch those chain 1 spaces, they are there. Make sure you just go right into the space and single crochet in, and then just continue along to the single crochet on the other side of it. Okay, so every stitch and chain 1 space gets a single crochet. Do this all the way across, and I'll meet you at the end of the row. Coming into my very last stitch, this was this row here. We're going to turn our work and begin the next one with row number 4. Rows number 4 and 5 are both the same. Just chain up 1 and put 1 single crochet in each stitch all the way across. Turn your work, and then chain 1 and do 1 single crochet in each. So please do rows number 4 and 5, and I'll see you at the end of number 5 in a moment. Coming up to the end of number 5, this is it for this color. So I'm going to fasten off, just get rid of it, and I am going to turn my work, and we're going to start row number 6, and you can weave in your ends at another time. Let's begin number 6. So let's grab our cone colors, and we want to start at the very first one where we finished. And I want to do a standing single crochet, so I'm just going to put it onto the hook already and scoop it around. And now you have 2 on the loop or on the hook, and then just pull through and toss that behind. You can weave the tail in later. So now it's all about going into the space. If you separate it, you can probably see it. I don't know if you can see it on camera. It's right there. So you can see that the holes, those are the bottoms of your cones. To do that, you're just going to wrap the hook and go right into there. And this is going to travel over top of the front of the piece, and you're going to scoop it and bring it through and pull up. And you want to be relatively consistent with your pull up to make sure it's the same. And you're just going to double crochet as normal. So that's going to be an extended double crochet. So wrap and going in again and pull through. So make sure the pull up is similar, and do it one more time. So this is giving us 3 top stitches for this cone at the top. And that's what it looks like. So now that that one's done, the next 3 are going to go into the next open space. You can find these open spaces underneath. So now I'm just going to wrap my hook, come into the next open space down here, wrap. And so your goal is to make each cone look similar to each other for the amount of yarn you're wrapping. This is actually my second take of this. I noticed that there was some friction coming from the ball, so that was impeding my ability just to let the yarn just glide it into position. So make sure that it happens, and also that you're using the same bottom. So once that cone's done, you're going to move to the next empty one and empty, and continue that all the way across. So please do this. This here is row number 6. So once you're coming all the way across, you got your cones coming in. You started with the single crochet on the edge, so therefore the very last stitch here, there should be a single crochet. Just move things over if you don't see it, and then that will end that color. So let's get rid of that, and we're now going to move to the flavors of the ice cream. If you would like multi-layers, so maybe the first layer you want like what is dripping off to be a different color, you can do that, but I'm just going to keep it simple and just move along and do the next row. Let's start our new color. We're going to do with the standing single crochet. I'm going to use green. Mint chocolate chip is my favorite ice cream flavor of them all. Once it's on the hook, just come into your very first stitch and just pull through, and then pull through the 2, and that's a standing single crochet. Everything is working in sets of 3. So watch what we do. We single crochet the first, chain 2. If you want more dripping ice cream, then chain 3, but chain 2 is pretty good. And then you're going to single crochet the next one, which is the middle of the cone, chain 2, and single crochet the end of this cone. So there's one cone there. Now the next part here is in sets of 3, just remember that. So the first one has to be a single crochet, chain 2, and the next one is the middle of the cone, so single crochet, and then chain 2, single crochet the end of the cone. So the chain 2 is only in the middle parts of the cone. So to start a new one, single crochet first, chain 2, connect the middle one, chain 2, and then do the next one. And you're going to do this all the way across, so please do that and meet me back here in a moment. When you get closer to the other side, just finish your cone as you know it. So single crochet this one, chain 2, connect the middle one, chain 2, do the last one of that cone, and then you have your last stitch, just single crochet. So when you turn your work, you're going to notice that there's going to be a little bit of drippy drips with your ice cream. Now if you want to change the color, you can. I'm just going to keep it the same just to keep it easier for myself. Let's begin the next row, number 8. To begin the next row, we're going to start doing the scoops of ice cream, and the first thing you need to do is you need to chain 4. 1, 2, 3, and then the fourth one is a chain 1 space, so it's a double crochet and a chain 1. That's what it equals. We need to concentrate in this middle stitch here, and we're looking at the right side of the project, the good side of the project right at this time. So what we have to do is that we have to get our hook in, and the easiest way to do it is to bend over the top drippy drip ice creams and just use the exact same stitch as the middle one. So if I did it like this, so I'm just gonna wrap. So if I went in like this, I wanna just kind of scoop that one and take it to the back. And once I have that one scooped, I just kind of hold things. So that will be continually being exposed. And I wanna put 6 double crochet into that same stitch. So this is 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. Once that's done, you're going to release that off the hook, come to the first one of the grouping of 6 from the front to the back, put that loop on. I use my middle finger here, and I just kind of pump it out towards me and just drag that through like that. Chain 1 locks it, and then the next 2 chain gets you to the next scoop. So I'm going to show you a different way of saying it in a moment. So now we're going to do the next scoop on this side. So we're looking for the middle one of the next cone, which is right here. So if you want to access it, just come in and use your hook just to pull it back. And now you can just use your fingers to sandwich it down. and put 6 single crochets into that same stitch. I tried 5, but 5 is not as scoopy as 6. And Diane, scoopy is not a word. She's my closed caption girl. So we have the 6 in here, so release that, come to the first one from the front to the back, put on, and pull through. And my finger is automatically inside, and so chain 1 locks it, and then there's 2 chains after that. So I would just go 1 locks, 2, and 3. So just chain 3, and you'll have that, and you'll immediately come to the next one. Once you understand this pattern, you can just blaze along, and any kind of texture work of putting extra stitches in like this does slow you down, but the stitch work when you're done is absolutely brilliant. So continue all the way across, and I'll see you back here in a moment. When you get close to the end and you're on your last scoop, you're going to still do the popcorn formation. And this time, instead of locking and put 2 extra chains in, you were going to lock and only chain 1. Okay, so don't put chain 2 after that. And then you were just going to double crochet into the first single down here. And that will keep everything aligned. This will be the end of the color. So my mint is ready to go. And now we're going to return the color back to the background color for 1 more row before the repeat of this whole thing restarts all over again. So let's get rid of this yarn, and let's pull through and turn our work and begin the next row. So I'm going to do the last row of the sequence, and we're going to come into the very top of the double crochet that finished it, and it's already on my hook, so I'm going to do a standing single crochet. So just scoop it through. You can see 2 loops, pull through the 2, standing single crochet is done, and move the straggler out of the way. This is a chain 1 space, so on the ends before the last stitches and the first stitch here, there's just 1 single into the space. On the popcorns here, the tops of the scoops, you are just going to put 1 into a scoop, 1 single crochet, and we knew that this was a chain 2 after it was locked. So these are just chain 2 spaces, so you'll apply 2 single crochets into each of one of those spaces. So 1 at the top of the ice cream, and then 2 into the chain 2 space. And this is going to help space out those scoops and make it really quite desirable. If you want to put me on pause and meet me back here in a moment. So continuing along, once you're into your last scoop, you have a chain 1 space. You can't really see it, but it is there because we chained 4, and we're going to put 1 in the space, and then 1 is going to be in the 3rd chain up, which aligns perfectly. And now, therefore, your scoops have just been equally spaced. Kind of cool, right? So what you're going to do is go back to row number 2, and row number 2 is about creating the space. So I'll show you number 2 once more, and then you can just go to town or the park and enjoy this process. So to recap number 2, when you go to start again, you're just going to chain up 1 and put 1 single crochet into this one and also to the next. These scoops all line on top of each other, so this is the bottom of the next scoop. So you're going to chain up 1, skip that one, and single crochet the next 2 in a row. So these scoops all match. So chain 1, skip the next one, and single crochet the next 2. Chain 1, and you're going to do that all the way across, just like you did on row number 2, because it's exactly the same thing. And then eventually everything will line up on the other side, and all your scoops will be in order. And you can have as many colors as you want with your different scoops as you're working your project up, and you can do whatever you need to do to make yourself happy. This is it for now, and we hope you enjoy. I'll see you again, I hope.